Hi, it is very nice to meet you all. My name is Gyu-seok Ro. I'm the owner of TG Farm. We grow crops such as tomato, cucumber, and paprika with Smart Farm system. Today, I would like to share what Smart Farm looks like in Korea with some examples. Here are the contents we are going to cover today. Let's start with some of basics of what Smart Farm is and what the system consists of. Once we have a big picture of it, we can have a look how the system interacts with the users and how it controls the greenhouse. Data is one of the most important aspects of the system, so we will have a look how it is being used. This is a simple definition of smart farm. It uses the ICT technology to operate greenhouse. We also can interact with the system remotely wherever you are, only if you have internet connection. There are a lot of different styles of greenhouses out there. Greenhouses that are covered with glasses, which is called Benno style, and semi-hybrid greenhouse, which is similar to Benno greenhouse, but they use polyfilm instead of glasses, and simple single tunnel style greenhouse. There are more types, such as indoor cultivation facilities. However, these three types are typical in Korea and has similar operation methods. Therefore, let's use these styles as a reference type in this presentation. We choose types depending on our crop kinds, regional characteristics, and budget. However, all these greenhouses could be operated by smart farm system. There are plenty of reasons we want a smart farm system. Plants are sensitive. They are greatly influenced with its environment, such as a light source, nutrient, temperature, humidity, CO2 level, and more. The system can read all of these status in the greenhouse and try to provide the right environment for crops. And this will provide for better quality of fruits, more productivity, and even lower cost. Unlike a conventional farming method, automated system gives farmers relaxedness, so they can spend more time in improving their overall farm management and even their personal lives. These are some examples of equipment that the system operates to control the greenhouse environments. Many times, the system uses more than one equipment to make a specific situation. For example, we know relative humidity has a relation to the air temperature. Warmer temperature means lower relative humidity. When system detects high humidity in the greenhouse, it operates heating equipment and vents to lower the relative humidity and sends out the wet air through the vents. This is a simple system composition. There are sensors throughout greenhouse, and they send out data to the main computer. So the computer can monitor and operate greenhouse accordingly user's order. We use a personal computer as a user interface. We can set our greenhouse's environment and monitor if the system is running correctly. It is quite common in Korea. One farming company operates more than one greenhouse since we do not have enough wide plains. But one person can do all the job in office as we can control other pieces through internet. I think we have some basics of smart farm now. Let's have a look how the system operates with venting example. This graph shows 24-hour venting operation records. This was written by the system. The green line indicates the air temperature in the greenhouse, and the blue line is user setting point, which means the air temperature, green line, should follow the blue line. We can see sun rises at about 6:30, which is indicated as orange line. As sun rises, it heats up the greenhouse, so the air temperature rises too. From 7:30, the system started to operate vents. The light blue line, it indicates how much it was opened and closed to keep the air temperature within the user setting point in percentage. Depending on the situation, such as summer season, we can adjust its sensitivity. Vent will open before the actual air temperature reaches the setting point because temperature goes up very quickly in summer season. Let's have a look how this process works. Sensors read out the weather situation and send it as data to the main computer. The computer uses its algorithm to keep their air temperature in accordance with the user's order. The main computer sends out some signals to the main panel, which powers all equipment throughout greenhouse. That was a simple example. In real world, it could be more complex. The system monitors all sensors and operates equipment for 24 hours. This is a simple graph, what I see every day in my farm. It looks very complex, but once you get used with it, it's very useful. With this graph, I can monitor the farm status and spot the problems very quickly. As we had a look, data is an essential aspect of smart farm system. We interact with the system with number, and we can also share them with other people. This gives many people a great benefit, especially for farmers. Government could make better policies with statistical data, which have a higher scientific basis. We can discuss about this a little bit more in management section later. The data also could be shared between farmers. We can help each other to find a better way in farming by sharing data each other. The system data have become a common language for us now. We use professional terms such as RH, CO2 level, humidity deficit point, when we are exchanging information. Most of farmers, including me, do not have degree in agriculture, which means we have less professional agricultural knowledge, but uniform data enabled easier education. Let's have a look more about this with tomato cultivation example. Tomato, just like all other crops, need a specific environment. As we can see here, we can get all information in number. Standardization gives us a lot of benefits. Korean agriculture institutions can provide agriculture education to Korean farmers more effectively, as they can synthesize education methods or materials. And the farmers are familiar with the special terms, just as I've mentioned before. Farms hire private consultants to have advice in their crop cultivation. Getting advice in person is the best option, of course, but now we have an easier and cheaper way. Some Korean companies, such as IO Crops, provide daily and monthly reports to farmers to ensure better crop management. This is possible because the company have access their customer farms data through internet. If we have access very cheap resources such as light, heating, and nutrient, cultivation is much easier with the smart farm system, because we know optimal environment for each crops. But unfortunately, all expenditure such as energy, material, and human resources gets more expensive year on year, so we need to be calculative to avoid deficit. This graph shows 5-year beef tomato price tendency in Korea. It indicates clear tendency. The prices went up dramatically from the end of August and got stable from October. This is because of climate in Korea, clear summer and winter season. Let's recall what we learned from the previous slides. Too high temperatures will cause various problems in plant growth. For example, tomato. they will not be able to set fruits, or fruit size will be too small because tomato tree should be in less than 27 degrees Celsius. Some farms have their air conditioner equipment, but this is the most expensive source. Let's say someone wants to build a greenhouse near my farm. I can share a lot of useful data to the person. This graph shows 12 months outside the temperature, TG Farm and another smart farm company located in Masan in Korea. The data was recorded by a smart farm computer, and the two companies use the same system. We can see the clear differences. TG Farm has much lower temperature than Masan Farm. This means we will have to use much more heating resources during winter, but the summer is the opposite. And this graph shows the TG Farm's heating uses in 2018. Heat is one of the highest expenditure in farming business, as I've mentioned before. So we always try to find a cost-effective way. And finally, this shows sunlight resources of TG Farm and Masan Farm in 2018. We can see Masan Farm's light resource is much better than TG Farm. Okay, now we have went through some basic data of TG Farm. We know the tomato market price trend and climate, such as temperature, light source. And we also got some idea about TG Farm's weakness and strengths by knowing other farms' data. TG Farm has a high drawback in winter season because we have less temperature and light resources compared to other smart farm companies. However, we have such a good environment in summer. Those data provide us important information. It helps deciding types of equipment in prior to greenhouse construction stage and also during the cultivation. For example, in TG Farm's case, heating capacity should be bigger than other farms. It would be much better to adopt higher quality heating system, even though the system could be more expensive in installation stage. But we know it will lower the operation cost. Choosing crops is also important. We found that tomato, cucumber are more profitable than single crop cultivation such as paprika. Cucumber has low heating requirement compared to paprika, and tomato, we have a comparative advantage during summer season due to our cool climate. Like this example, we have access to other various information data. We can use this in our decision-making process in planning and adjustment, and we get advices from specialists or other farm owners. Let's sum up what we have covered in this presentation. We started with some basics, what smart farm looks like, and we saw venting operation example. We have seen how the system interacts with equipment and users. Data is one of the most important aspects. It could make effective agriculture education and also provide effectiveness in sharing knowledge with other people. Smart farm systems allow the farmers to have access scientific basis as well, so they can optimize crop cultivation and cost management much better. The COVID-19 situation has influenced the farming industry greatly. Expenses such as energy, material, and human resources go up every day. We are doing our best by maximizing smart farms' advantage to cope with the situation. Thank you very much. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.